from the Bob Mills Weather Center, the Oklahoma weather expert, Travis Meyer.
That was awesome. Still not awesome, the drought monitor. That is still a pain in our drain. In fact, it's pretty much drained all the water out of Oklahoma. We're still dealing with basically the same thing. The only place we've made a dent is in the far eastern portions of our area, and that was with that heavy rains that we had about now 2 weeks ago almost. 3 to 5 inches of rain there, but pretty much we're status quo with the drought monitor going on. So that's just what we have. Also, what's of interest to us is, like, since the day where there's actually like a 1/4 inch of rain at one time, now we're up to 95 days out in Buffalo. I mean, that's unbelievable. We're not a whole lot better up in Osage County. It says 9 because we had more than a 1/4 inch, but we didn't have a whole lot more. So we still have a lot of rain we need, and this next storm system coming through too fast. Looked good last week, like it was going to slow down, and all this was going to be right here. But instead now it looks like the eastern half of our viewing area has the best chance of some reasonable rains of 1 inch to up to 2 inches of rain. Further southeast you go. You also get into severe weather the further southeast you go. Right now, not much going on. We had a little bit of patchy drizzle earlier around Muskogee on up into eastern portions of Mays County. Nothing going on out west yet. That is subject to change before too awful long. We have a massive storm system out there that's diving south. Now the center of the storm circulation is down into Arizona, where there's rain and snow in Arizona. Snow to the north in the Rockies. It's pretty amazing. And then get a load of this. You can tell where that cold front is. I mean, it is unreal. Last hour it was 75 in Lincoln. They're down to 63 as that front's moving through. And it dives into the 30s behind that with cold north winds. Then usually that thing's going to come down and get us. It'll get us on Saturday morning, but it gets pushed back out fairly fast. But that's a big deal, and that's a sign the seasons are changing. So this storm system right now is going to be dumping some heavy snows across portions of New Mexico and also into Colorado. Great for skiers. We're going to be watching thunderstorms erupt early morning as we go through tomorrow morning, and that's going to be out west. We're just kind of basically quiet, maybe some patchy areas of drizzle. And then as we go through the morning and get on up to closer to noontime, a heavy band of showers and thunderstorms go across eastern Kansas. Then we're going to watch what's developing just to our south and west. These are the storms that will build into the area. As these storms build in, some of these will become severe pretty quick. We could have some hail cores with them, and then as they continue to mature, especially down here in this zone, anywhere from Dallas-Fort Worth, Durant areas, and then extending into the northeast Texas, southeast Oklahoma, we're going to be under the gun for some really nasty storms and probably a few tornadoes. So that's going to be likely. And you can see what fires up across areas from Tulsa to the east. So this is pretty much, again, in line with that rainfall that we were talking about. So that's going to continue to move off to the east as we go through the evening hours and then finally be out of the picture. But it'll be windy and colder as we get on into the morning hours. Some clouds left over for a while. But by the morning time, it'll be chilly. We're talking about the highest risk of severe weather across our southeast counties. And then the rest of us, though, have a slight chance or low risk, which means some hail, some wind, isolated tornado risk. Most likely thing would be some strong damaging wind potential, but a few folks could have a little bit more than that. Then it's cold Saturday morning. Gusty winds out of the northwest, 30s to low 40s. During the afternoon, though, a nice rebound with fall weather and temperatures in the 60s. And on Sunday, we're in the 70s again. So we're missing out on that real cold air that's just to the north of us. It will come later next week. We do have some ups and downs, and a lot more downs as we get on into next week. Late next week, especially around Veterans Day time period. The extended forecast right now is looking for a lot colder weather as we go on into the second and third weeks, late second and then into the third weeks of November. So get ready to find some coats. You're going to need it. Obviously down in Bixby right now, things are getting heated up as we're going to get to see Dan the Man coming with sports in a little bit, but we're at 75 degrees right now. South wind at 18, gusting to 28. That's the only problem for tonight's football games, as it looks like there are going to be a lot of breezes that are going to be about 20, 30 miles per hour. So that's the problem. Otherwise, we're looking at tonight to be nice, just the wind. 60s as we look at midnight, 60s, upper 60s in the morning. Some scattered sprinkles and showers will be developing across the area. And then at noontime, we're in the 70s, 30% chance of thunderstorms developing. And then that goes to a 100% chance of storms tomorrow afternoon. Some of those would be severe here, high likelihood if you're south and east of Tulsa from Muskogee to McAllister. And then it just turns into a gorgeous weekend. Don't forget, fall back 1 hour as daylight saving time ends early Sunday morning. So make sure you change your clock Sunday morning, and then awesome weather for a while until it gets to Veterans Day, then it gets cold again.